Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Europa Universalis IV, where we are playing as the Hanseatic League. And past Mordred apparently left me at war with England. What was this about? Hanseatic conquest of Lincolnshire. Why was I going after Lincolnshire? England, Helra, Portugal, Savoy. Versus me, Brunswick and Oldenburg. This is a war that I started. Trade fleets are over there. Where are my combat fleets? I think we decided that England had basically no ships. Which is why I kind of went all gung-ho. Yeah, England's not even on the top page. England's made a bit of a boo-boo. They have 12 ships total, none of which are heavies. So we have complete naval superiority with our 153 vessels. Okay. Was it for a mission? I do vaguely remember there being something about Lincolnshire. Oh, is it because they're a centre of trade and I need to take over the North Sea? Although before I do that, I need to subjugate Norway. And Bergenhus is currently owned by Denmark, which is currently occupied by Stettin. So we need to keep on killing Denmark. Yeah, there's a mission about London, but I've already done that, because it was London and Lothian, both of which I own. No, I remember what this was. This was for Newfoundland. Because I do have a mission to take Newfoundland, as this one. All provinces in Newfoundland area owned by the Hunter. Because that gives us a centre of trade in Avalon, right here. And then from there we can go for New Lubeck, which would be New York, which would be a war against Scotland. Oh man, now I'm just kicking them when they're down, but crikey, that's an impressive New Scotland. They'd be quite wealthy too, I suspect. Scotland owns Lancashire, because of course they do. The English got their navy destroyed both during the League War. Okay. So yeah, I think actually the main objective is Newfoundland, though if I defeat the English, I think I can just peace out for Newfoundland. Anyway, our armies are here already. Do the English have an army? This would be another good piece of information to have. In fact, let's just say war enemies, then I can see exactly what we're up against. So Portugal, Savoy, Brazil, Carabas all have large armies. All of those have a lot bigger armies than England does. That's hilarious. Than England to their 24,000. So I don't think I want to split my forces just yet. You're building some early frigates, probably for trade. Do we have our heavies? Those are all galleys. Ah, there's the heavies. I haven't even bothered on mothballing them. And why do we have 3,000 men just sitting here? Ah, those are the Marines. Yeah, okay, fair enough. We'll leave them where they are. So England's army is going to be here somewhere. I think I might just stay... No, we're going to go and attack Norfolk. Because they'll probably go and try and siege London down, because why wouldn't they? Syndic Joseph Schmerz has become just. Cool. And Dumfries is a tier 4 fort, so... Oh no, London's only a 2. We're building a level 4. So we need to be careful of them coming to attack that. Helra, meanwhile, attacks my navy. Right, we are at war with the Portuguese, who probably do have a fleet. Yeah, Portugal is 12 heavy, so I think I am actually going to unmothball you lot. Just in case. We have a massive number of sailors. There's the English army. How did you... Boy! No! You're not allowed to just walk past Dumfries. So the whole point is there. Huzzah! Well, you should be pretty well trapped. And they do have a fort in Northumberland, which we'll have to take before Dumfries falls. Well, Norfolk's fallen, so that's going to be positive. Then I am also going to make this a defensiveness edict, just to make sure it doesn't fall. We've engaged the enemies. Dogger Bank. That's just a transport. Okay. It seems as if the serfs moving out of the provinces aim to earn a living in the capital. This is creating turmoil in the country, but our capital may benefit in the long run. So we lose a base tax in Stralsund and gain one in Lubeck. That seems reasonable to me. Arachnos coming in with a 3-month resubscription. Thank you very much for that, Arachnos. Much appreciate it. Here we go for the Mordred. Ha! I got puns too. Actually, when I used to play Shadowbane, my name was Mordred. Because somebody had already stolen Mordred. Nürnberg. Oh, I have a colony. Hello, colony. Huzzah! How have I got a colonist? Did we go expansion? We did go expansion. Interesting. Well, okay then. General Bjornvar has died. Of course he has. We have loans. How many? 10? Oh, are we still paying off the League War? We must still be paying off the League War. Or it's because I just built a bunch of new ships. Could be either. Alright, the fact that you don't have a general concerns me. We broke the siege though, which is the main thing. They're probably coming back down for Norfolk? No? Apparently not. That looks suspiciously like the 13 colonies are bankrupt as well. I forgot how much of a problem that was in this game. Alright, Le Bon Paul. We'll put you in charge. You're good at sieging. They'll go and attack their army. Suggest you don't come to East Anglia. There's nothing here of note. It seems like a nice place. I think I'll take it. The other one's near the Ivory Coast. I have 2 colonies. Okay. Why do I remember so little of this game? Like, the only thing that I really remember is I formed the Hansa, and that I took London. Delayed salaries. The campaign in England has run into severe logistical problems. As the season for the salary payments draws nearer, it's becoming abundantly clear that we'll not be able to pay all of the troops, as there's simply no way for the money to get to them on time. Our generals blame the constant enemy raids on the baggage train, and insist they planned everything in detail, but the problem is now Joseph Schmerz's to solve. If we only pay a fraction of our troops, many will no doubt desert. We could also choose to pay none of them, and tell them to live off the land, but that would likely devastate the entire area. So let them live off the land. East Anglia gets devastated, you were saying, Helfrich. We lose professionalism, which sucks, or we lose 10,000 manpower. I think right now I'm leaning towards the manpower, because we're basically maxed out. And part of the reason that our army is as strong as it is because of my crazy high professionalism. So we'll pay off the elites and leave the rest. No! They killed Nürnberg! Damn it! And they're blockading my transport fleet. Let me have the Ivory Coast as well. Okay. I think I'd kind of forgotten that colonial nations are a thing. No, don't make me run around in circles. York. York is a terrible place. Okay. You're actually making me chase you. Gotcha. Derby's grasslands. And no river crossing. 6.7 morale to 4.2. I don't think England's bankrupt. I think that their morale just stinks. Compared to mine. Oh yeah, I'm in the golden era. Forgot about that. New coin. Lose Republican tradition? Absolutely not. Or inflation. I think we're... Oh no, we're not rolling with the 666. So we are in the era of trying to regain Republican tradition, but this is not the time to lose it. And our inflation is dangerously high, so I am actually going to pay that down a little. Do not want it going over 10, because that's when the bad events really start to kick in. 110 discipline to their 105, 2.2 tactics, 2.1. They have some military drill. Actually more than I do. but my army is just significantly stronger. Neu-Nuremberg's producing grain. That's unfortunate. And then Portugal stole it. Le Bon Paul has become ruthless, doing 10% more fire damage. We are now in the era of fire, so that's awesome. There go the ships that we had out there. So we will need to go and punish Portugal for this offense, which we'll be able to do shortly. I feel relatively confident in splitting my forces in half now, and we'll just start sieging down their forts. Alright, here's the direct quote from last night. Mordred, what is best in life? To crush your rivals, see them bankrupt before you, and to hear the auctioning off of their assets. That's the one. I'm just going to go and copy and paste that. Give me a second. And we're going to go and put that in the quips and quotes. Because that was pretty awesome. They removed the 10% inflation event already like 2 or 3 patches ago. They feel like it was mostly a noob trap. Not true. We actually Poet checked yesterday. There are events related to inflation at 3%, 5% and 10%.
Raiding party!
Hey, Republic of Play, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome to the stream. Hello, hello, hello. You are here just in time to witness the utter humbling of Britain. Although, apparently Northumberland is a surprisingly good fort. Oh, it's only a level 2. So why wasn't Montgomery so easy to take in comparison? Oh, do you have all the artillery and you don't have any? No, you have artillery. You just have more. Oh, and you have the general who's a level 4. Yeah, that would do it. Quickest siege ever! We're here to raid you and take all your loot. Are you sure it's a good idea to raid Vikings? Because I'm pretty sure that we can raid stronger than you. And you lot sail. While Oldenburg pins their navy, we'll go and sink it. Because that's what we do. Ah, running away. Come back here. Alright, we have won the siege of Northumberland. The siege lasted 82 days. I legitimately feel sorry for the Brits right now, because they are getting kind of humbled. There we go. Caught their navy. They do get their naval combat bonus from the wooden wall, but again, my morale is just a lot better than theirs. And we're also 24 heavy ships, now joined by 60 light ships. So, yeah. That wasn't going to end well for you. Alright, let's go and find the Portuguese navy. Cut them off in Shrewsbury. And Denmark is fabricating a claim against us. Shame on you. Anyway, for those of you joining us from the raid, I feel like I should do a quick introduction. We are currently playing as the Hanseatic League. We started as the one province minor here in Lubeck, which does start with a trade league, but it has an absolutely fantastic set of missions. I usually detest the mission system in EU4, but Lubeck's is quite good because it's all about restoring the Hanseatic League, which last stream we actually managed to achieve. You basically have to get all of the missions all the way down to here, Unite the League, which involves getting Denmark to basically become subservient or either take them out, retake Gotland, take Novgorod from the Russians, take out Akershus, Trondelag. No, we just needed control over the seas. We did need to get Edinburgh, Lothian, and London. And now we're trying to do the kind of alt history stuff, which is making a path over to America. So for that, we need to take over bits of Norway. So Trondelag and Akershus we already have. We do still need to take Bergenhus from the Danes. Then we need to take Newfoundland, or Labrador rather, from England, which is what we're currently fighting over. And then eventually we will need to take New York from the Scots. So several things still to do, but these last missions are actually quite strong because they'll provide new centres of trade, which is something that didn't used to be possible. Centres of trade were like completely set prior to the game, but now they can actually be built if you do the right missions, which is kind of cool. I like that. Oh, I can actually reach here and still be in supply. Why is my supply 172? I didn't think it ever went above 150. Why is that? I was wondering if it was because it was a level 3 centre of trade or something, but no, we have 172.5 everywhere. Why is that not 150? How did that go up? Anyone know? So guys, only in my campaign, or have I noticed Mamluk strong in every game and the Ottomans are useless now, or AI Ottomans? I did notice in the Castile game that the Mamelukes kicked my ass as Castile, and the Ottomans are kind of getting humbled by Venice. One of my ideas? I didn't think ideas changed that. Policies? Unless like trade range or something did it. I mean, that would be the most understandable, but trade range has been going up fairly consistently. Although actually the only boost to trade range I have is that 15%, I think. Well, here's a question for you maths buffs. If 150 is the usual, what's the 172.5 an increase of? Whereas naval supply ranges in global modifiers, it shouldn't be one. That's why I'm so surprised. As far as I'm aware, there is no modifier for this. What's it called? Supply ship. Would be what? Ship range? Supply ship? There's nothing like that. It's a 15% increase, which would correspond with the trade range. Is there a way I can test this? Because that's new, if that's the case. Actually, yes, I can test this. I want to see if my trade range modifier is 15%. Yeah, it is exactly 15%. So maybe it's a trade range thing. That's a good change. I like that change, if that is indeed the thing here. Let's do an experiment. Gonna save the game, so I don't break this completely. I'm gonna give myself... yes, dip 1000. Then I'm going to cancel expansion ideas. We're going to take trade ideas. Trade range. So our trade range is now another 25 higher, 210. Absolutely. Huh. Okay, trade range increases supply ship reach. Sneaky change, but I like it. Wasn't it always like that? Not as far as I know. I didn't think there was any way of changing the 150 supply range. Interesting. Now we know, exactly. I'm going to see if that's written in the wiki. Oops. No. Even the wiki is saying absolutely nothing. Trade range. Merchants can only reach nodes at this distance with a court province or a court province of a subject nation or nation granting naval basing rights. The distance is measured to the central province of the node, visible in the trade map mode. Base trade range is increased by diplomatic tech, 100 at tech 1, 400 at tech 32, and some decisions and ideas. It does not say anything about the fact that trade range increases supply. Limitation on supply range applies even when naval attrition is removed at Diplotech 22. If the trade range permits a country can send a merchant to a node without any initial trade power, then follow up with light ships protecting trade, as long as they're within the supply range. A good way to arrange favourable supply range is gaining fleet basing rights from the nation in the vicinity of the target trade node. It says nothing about this increasing trade range, supply range. Absolutely nothing. So I think that's new. I do not remember that being the case. Because I've played plenty of games where I've had a trade range increase. I mean, the Netherlands. Like, basically every game I play, I take trade at some point. It is in the wiki? It's a different section then. Extended by trade range factors. Okay. Verified for 1.29. When was that added, though? Oh, sorry about the wiggling screen. Didn't tab properly. I don't know why it does that, but it's very annoying. Supply range cannot be extended by flat range modifiers. Only by the percentages. And yeah, Dutch idea number 2, Dutch trading spirit, plus 10%. I am sure that this is a fairly new thing. Because I do not remember it working that way. This map is jamming out. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I don't know why the map does that. It's whenever I tab out. This is the only game that does it, and it's very annoying. This might be a stack wipe. They are taking some really heavy losses. It's not. Where are they running to? Probably back down to Cornwall. Guilds obstruct trade. Guild leaders can be ruthless power brokers and don't take kindly to being opposed politically. Since the guilds haven't controlled the governor of the Hanseatic League for some time, some of them have started to use more intimidating methods to show their influence. Oh dear, did we let our... No, that's actually really well balanced. So, trade power is lost in Lubeck, Rostock, Ostjylland, Upplander, the Norwegian Småland, and Riga. Smålenen, I think. And the Portuguese navy is indeed sitting at harbour here. Unfortunately, just out of range. But we'll leave them there for now. And yeah, you guys are running to Cornwall. Unfortunately for you. You got a morale tick though. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be a stack wipe. Okay, so the wholesale occupation of England can now begin. Let's start taking this territory. Then what I think I might do is invade Portugal. I think that fleet's going to get away. No, we caught them. I have no admiral here. Why do I not have an admiral here? I just had an... Oh, he's with the light ships, isn't he? Well, when I get to the Lusitanian Sea, we can switch it. Irish Sea, we just sank another heavy. Light ships are doing some work. Vasco, you need to be in that fleet. Because I am planning for you to do some fighting. Oops, I forgot Kent. How can I forget Kent? Go take Kent. And we just finished the level 4 fort in London. Perfect. How big are my colonies? 286 people. And in fact, I'm going to send the colonist there. As otherwise he's kind of not doing anything. Oh, the English are actually trying to siege a fort down again. That's very brave of them. And a little silly. Thicker than water. To many powerful people in the Hanseatic League, contacts or wealth determine status. But the nobles still value blood ties highly, even though the nobles are far from the most powerful faction in our republic at this time. They still use the same methods to ensure loyalty. A recent request for the hand of your daughter from a well-known aristocratic family is clearly such an attempt. You know that this will force you to steer politics closer to their line and weaken the Republic, but refusing will make it even more difficult to compel them to support your military reforms. I don't care about the military reforms. I will lose military power. I am not losing Republican tradition.